Well, what's going on, guys? It is your boy Adoptionism here, and today I'm bringing you guys a video. It's not exactly perfect, but I'm pretty much going to tell you guys the general consensus of your goals and where you want to aim for in terms of this build. Now, some of you guys might also be wondering what exactly is the current game meta, and the current game meta is pretty much um, decent DPS around 200k or more, with about 80. Some people rock 70, but 80,000 or more health. Usually about like 10,000 skill power is kind of the general area where people have it, and then of course you have armor, which needs to be at 65% weapon damage mitigation. And to achieve that, your total armor altogether needs to be, I believe, exactly 4,600, or I think it's like 4,650. Can't remember. It's one of those numbers, but either way, I'm like 100 over it. And the reason why my set is a little odd is because my chest piece I can't put reckless on because then it drops my stamina too low, and it just ends up complicating the whole thing. And then because of the armor difference in these two chest pieces, I actually had to buy this and then roll it for the mod slot, so sadly I was not able to get the armor on it, which I probably should have done. But, you know, your boy don't fucking pay attention like that. But anyway, you usually want to run a reckless piece, but we'll get into that. So what this meta is that this is going to optimize you to do the most amount of damage possibly can with the current set of gear. Obviously my weapons aren't going to be 100% perfect, but I'm going to tell you guys what you want on your rolls. Like 100%, this is what you guys want. So just to show you guys, mine is an enhanced AUG A3P. I actually found this in a dark zone. I think I actually killed somebody for it. I can't remember, but base damage is 12.3k, which is pretty fucking high. Crit chance is 22.5, which isn't that high. I mean, I would have liked to have like a 25, but you know, the gods never love me. But for talents, granted, I don't have all of them unlocked, but if I did, this would be a ridiculous build. Like, I should have Vicious unlocked because I need to sacrifice some firearms for some stamina, and then just unlocking Vicious will probably end up adding more DPS. And then, of course, Ferocious wants me to have 1889 electronics, which just won't ever happen, really. But, yeah, so I have Vicious, Ferocious, and Deadly. And then with mods, usually I've been seeing a lot of people start to go for Rate of Fire and critical hit chance or critical hit damage now. Honestly, that's not what I like. I mean, I think that having magazine size and weapon damage is more of an any use, like PvE or PvP. So, for my opinion, I would say to pretty much keep that one. And of course, I got headshot damage and crit hit chance on my scope. Then for muzzle, I have stability and crit hit damage, which I believe 35% is the highest you can go on a muzzle roll. Can't remember, maybe it was 37. But I do know that the higher weapon mods and stuff, because all of these are crafted level 30s. They're still from before the update. Then I have a 35% stability grip. I could have stability and regular accuracy to make sure that my bullet spread is a lot more narrow, but you know, it's whatever. It's still fucking laser beam. And then I'm rocking the custom M44 simply because when I'm using this thing, it's just nasty. But I want to see if I could get this right so I can show you guys. I can get up to 414% headshot damage on my AUG. On my motherfucking AUG, dude. And 60% chance crit hit is also, or crit hit chance is 60%. That is the highest it'll go. That is the cap for it. Crit hit damage, I think the highest you can go is 150. It might actually go more than that. I'm not too sure. But usually with my sniper and headshots, I usually average 750,000 or more per headshot, and that's without any buffs. Usually with buffs, I can hit like 1.8, 2.4 million, or somewhere in that range. But yeah, and then like all weapons bonus, shit like that. But anyway, alright, so we're talking about the meta. So for gear, you like always want to go for an AUG or a Vector, and pretty much the best ones for this type of build, the way how it works, with health and stuff like that and damage, is that you want Deadly, you want Brutal, which is headshots, and then you also want like Sustain or Self-Preserved, which is what they have on the Midas, which gives you health back on crit hit. And because we're going to be crit hitting so much, and that crit damage is so high, that we're pretty much going to be like healing constantly. Like we will pretty much be at almost max health, like 24/7, no matter what kind of fight we're getting in. So that's the meta that you want for your primary. Now usually secondaries people run the M1As. I do not have an M1A right now. But if you roll a SOCOM M1A or a first wave M1A, most of the time it's first wave, you want the balanced perk, which pretty much increases its stability by, I believe, 40. It's like 40 something percent. And then, obviously, I mean, damage or brutal would be really awesome on that too. Like that would be the perfect roll on a first wave M1A, is deadly, brutal, and balanced, because balanced makes it to where you could just keep shooting it like and that's a semi-auto marksman rifle, so that's pretty crazy. And then sidearms don't really ever matter. You're not ever really going to use it. It's just there for gear score. That's why I have a 204 on me right now. But for gear, I don't have the gloves, but I have the fucking chest piece. Alright, so what you guys usually want with the current bugs and I wouldn't say exploit. Oh, it's still kind of an exploit. I don't give a fuck what you say, or it's taking advantage of. But the reckless chest piece increases your damage by 13%, and it says that it increases incoming damage by 10%, but that is not actually true. It actually helps you. Like it's actually the opposite. It increases damage by 13% and reduces incoming damage by 10%. So the reckless talent is actually super broke, really really good. And then you usually want to roll fire or stamina. Yeah, you usually want to roll stamina on your chest piece, and then you just put like a firearms mod with plus armor. Yeah, usually most of the gear though is like, I think 2 pieces of gear is supposed to be stamina with firearms mods, and then like gloves you want to have stamina, and you actually want the what is it? I think it's Savage. I have honestly I've never seen gloves with it, but I know that the Savage talent is pretty much the most ideal talent that you want on a pair of gloves. But yeah, usually if you run crit chance, critical hit damage, and like SMG damage or damage against elites or health on kill. Actually, health on kill with the self-preserve talent would just make you a fucking god. But yeah, and so you usually want to run like, pretty much when you're looking at your gear, you should see this. You should see 4-piece sentries, and then a reckless chest piece, and a savage gloves. Now, some people are also asking, why sentries? Why sentries? Why sentries? Well, some of you guys may also be noticing that a lot of other streamers and players like that are using sentries over strikers. Granted, I have all 3 sets. I don't think I have any. I think I have them all in my stash right now. But strikers, granted, it does stack, like, but it's only 1%. So if you're only doing, like, let's say if you're only doing 13.8k per bullet, and you throw on strikers and you're only doing 1% more, 1% of 13,000 is like 800. Well, 13,800, it's about like 800. Yeah, it's like 800. So that kind of sucks, honestly. It's not that great. It kind of just, it's pointless, honestly, to do it like that. That's just me. I'm just saying. But that's only 1% per stack, and then per missed shot, it's 2%. So say if you fire 2 shots and you miss 1, you already lost your bonus. So it's not, Strikers isn't that good. And the reason why Sentries is so good is because it only takes 3 headshots. Doesn't matter if you miss from any fucking weapon you have. Like, you hit 3 headshots, and that monster, I was gonna say monster, but that mob is gonna be taking, or even player, is gonna be taking 45% more damage from everybody and everything. So, Sentries is just a ridiculous class, especially with 30% headshot damage, 20% damage to elites. And then with Reckless, it just ends up putting your damage like through the roof. And then with Savage ends up like just stacking onto that. It's really crazy. It's really crazy, for real. But if you guys are ever rocking a SMG and an assault rifle combo, you tend to want to have on your assault rifle. You kind of want to have like, because that's gonna be like your mid to long, or I wouldn't say long range, but like your mid range gun, pretty much. What I honestly, in my opinion, what I would think for a rule for that, because SMG, you might as well just like get every crit damage thing possible, which is like brutal and deadly and shit like that. But if you can roll an SMG or an AR with like, let's say, I don't even think I have it, but if you ever get one that has like balanced is really good. Honestly, balanced is pretty fucking amazing. But if you got balanced, deadly, and destructive, which destructive takes out armor, then it's really good. Like if you had deadly, destructive, and pretty much, balanced is good, but any other perk that it would still be really good. It would still be really, really good. Just so long as you have like a swap off. Like most people would use their assault rifles for mid to longer ranges, but also use it against ads, so that way they can get like supers and stuff back. So a lot of people like to run the talented perk. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Reckless chest piece, Savage gloves, 4-piece sentries. Make sure that 2 of your pieces are stamina rolls. Yeah, so try to aim for 2 pieces to have stamina rolls with firearms mods that have firearms plus armor, and then all of your firearms gear, which means you should have 4 pieces. All your firearms gear that has sockets and stuff in it, definitely try and roll it for stamina and crit chance, because that'll help towards reaching that crit chance cap, and also helping you do more damage, thus more healing, and so on and so forth. Meta when it comes to abilities. Some people keep switching around. I know a lot of people that run Pulse and First Aid, a bunch of people that run Pulse and Sticky Bomb, and so with this build, I'm literally describing like the perfect build. Obviously, you guys can see I don't have the perfect build. Right now, it gets the job done. So, abilities. Right now, the meta is actually shifting. People are starting to notice that with us having a build that has low skill power, and the fact that the mobs won't usually attack your your thrown out skills, unless obviously if you like throw it out like right in front of them, then they'll be like, oh shit, let me kill this thing. But if you throw like off to the side while you're aggroing all of them, dude, this shock turret, like, it doesn't matter, because you have low skill power. You obviously none of your skills are gonna do that much damage, so you're usually using them for like debuffs and stuff, and that's why the shock turret's like the best, because you throw it down, it lasts 30 fucking seconds, so that's great, and it fires pretty consistently. It's like, I know that's probably like a really horrible fucking thing there, but yeah. Even behind cover, at most angles, this thing can actually shoot mobs. Like, as long as the mobs are within the zone of the shock turret, most of the time it somehow can still like shoot through the cars and stuff, or through like the corner of a wall or whatnot, and hit the enemy and shock them. And when it shocks them, they stand up, and I believe they're shocked for about not 10 seconds, Jesus Christ, no, it's like 1.5, maybe 2 seconds, where they can't do anything. They can't roll, they can't heal, well, maybe they can heal, I can't remember, but they can't roll, they can't sprint, they can't really run away. That's why in PvE, this thing's really good. You just throw that down, and then you'll be like, hey guys, focus fire, and if, obviously, again, you have sentry stack, then you're going to be killing shit really quick with your teammates. In PvP, the shock turret's really good, because again, that's 1 to 2 seconds that a player is completely immobile and cannot escape any damage you're putting out. So in the time that that person is shocked, you should already have full sentry stacks on that person. This is another warning. If you guys are ever running around and you see a group and you're like, oh, these guys are chill, and you see homeboy throw down a fucking turret and there's no mobs around you, he's about to flag you and go rogue. So, or he's about to flag himself. So definitely be careful when you see people throw turrets around, because a lot of people will troll or they will try to gank you, especially after, if you guys are running around for a bit and you end up picking up some good shit. And then I run booster shot. Sometimes I skip back and forth between overheal and booster shot. Booster shot helps get that extra bonus or damage bonus, so that way your heals do more, especially when again when you have self-preserved or sustained. Sustained, and this is another thing before people say, well, sustained gives you 6%, self-preserved only gives you 3%, but sustained only gives you 6% after a kill. Self-preserved is every crit hit heals you. That is why self-preserved is way better than sustained. So, just putting that in there right the fuck now. Deal with it. Talents. Now, right now, really quick, there is a current bug that is going around with the one is none talent, which everyone keeps bitching about it, but I mean, it does what it does. It's not that fucking bad. But headshot a hostile to receive a 50% chance of not consuming a bullet. Now, when it comes to going on, like grind like loops or whatever in the DZ and shit like that, like, you're gonna fly through ammo. That's not a contest. Like, you will fly through ammo, and then if you end up getting in a crazy gunfight and going on a spree on a manhunt, you're like hardly gonna have any ammo if you don't have this. Most people don't actually notice how much this thing fucking helps. So you could literally turn like a 50-round magazine to like a 75-round magazine. It's stupid. But anyway, there's a bug to where a lot of guns, if you get down to the last bullet, you can't shoot. Most of the time, I don't think you could even activate your skills either. It'll start like spazzing out to where it'll like pull it out and switch back, or it'll pull it out and lock there for a second. All you gotta do is just reload your gun, like pretty much after you spray a couple times. If you can catch it before it hits 1, you just reload your gun and you're fine. Or if you happen to find yourself in the lock, all you really gotta do is switch weapons. You just switch weapons, switch back, reload, and then you're good. But yeah, that's how to take care of that glitch. But for the most part, we also got adrenaline right here in the medical tree, which is use a med kit when not at full health to receive an overheal. People usually tend to use that because when you're running around by yourself, and again, we don't have high skill power, so our booster shot isn't going to do shit for heal. It's going to give us some health, so that way it's going to help. But then it's also going to give us that damage buff. And for some of you who don't know, booster shot also gives you a damage resistance buff as well. Even though it does not say it on here, it does. So that's why it's awesome. And so for the other one, we have on the move, which kill a hostile while moving to reduce incoming damage for 30% for 10 seconds. So having a 30% damage reduction is pretty nice. I can't remember if it does stack onto the 65 armor. I'm pretty sure it does, because it always procs, and I tank more. But, yeah, it's just good, because you're going to be constantly walking around and strafing and killing people, so might as well have that on there. And then we have Precision, which is headshot a hostile to pulse them for 10 seconds. Now, benefit says pulse, got the little skill icon, and then affects agent. So this is a single target pulse. Alright, single target pulse. So send out a recon pulse. Okay, well, it doesn't send out a recon pulse. It just pulses that one enemy. The marks hostiles and allies through walls and cover. And this is counting for the talent. When you pulse somebody, you're going to do more damage to them. So on top of having sentries call on their, having a 45% increase, and then you put that on there, and then you have like a like a 30% increase of crit damage, it's just it makes a huge difference. And again, with you guys critting as much as you are, you're going to be making your health back. And then of course signature, we're gonna go with Survivor Link. You can usually switch it up with Tactical Link depending on who in your team is running, how many people are running Survivor Link. Usually I would say if you're running in a squad of 4, I would say 2 Survivor Links, 1 Tactical Link, and 1 Recovery Link. But again, you guys can always just play with those depending on how your play style is. But I would say if you're playing more aggressive, definitely use Survivor Link. If you're kind of staying in the back and you're popping like sniper shots, then Tactical Link. Maybe. I don't know. Again, signature is pretty much something somebody could always play around with. But yeah, guys, I really hope this helps you guys understand the current meta of the game. Again, let's recap. SMGs, you want deadly, brutal, self-preserved for healing. For secondaries, if you are on a sniper, you want brutal and pretty much anything that gives towards headshot or crit damage. But I mean, these ones, toxic and proficient, can be okay too, because first bullet when shot out of combat is 46% or 46% bonus chance to result in a critical hit. But that's okay. Anyway, but yeah, as long as you have brutal, and then if you're rocking a SOCOM M1A, just make sure you have balanced brutal and deadly, and you pretty much have the god roll of god rolls. And yeah, that's that for the gear. And then again, reckless, savage, and then 4-piece sentries. 2-piece stamina gear, 4-piece firearms gear, and obviously for each piece have the, obviously if you have firearms, put a stamina mod. If you have a stamina gear, put a firearms mod. And then just make sure, keep playing around and make sure you guys can get up to 65% armor, yeah, 65% damage mitigation. So again, hope this helps you guys out. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. This has been your boy Adopt. Peace the fuck out.